Welcome to the Tie-Dyed Therapist. I'm your host, Richard Killian. Today is a very special day in terms of my channel, in terms of my private practice. I've been working on this project for about a year, and I wanted to share a few things with you and explain how they came to be. These are called the Tie-Dyed Therapist Wisdom Cards. And these are the cards. And the back is tie-dye, of course. But then in the front, there are four different decks, okay, which I will explain. I'm a little clumsy this morning. So there are four decks, like I said. The first deck is called Therapeutic. And so these have to do with therapeutic matters. This one's called It's Only a Pill. And the second deck is, the second suit is called Holistic/Spiritual. And this has to do with themes of spirituality and holistic ways to take care of yourself. This one's called Being Happy for Others. Third deck, I keep saying deck, I mean suit. The third suit is called Common Sense. And these are cards that are just sort of common sense pieces of wisdom that I've given to clients over the years. This one's called Shelf Life. And the last one is called Questions. And these are questions that I often ask people in the course of a therapy. And this one is, am I compromising or am I settling? So there are 13 cards per suit, just like a regular playing card deck. And I wanted to spend a minute to explain how they came to be, because it's a very interesting story. Probably end of January, beginning of February of this year, I was seeing somebody that I've known for a long time virtually. I was at home, and this is a very favorite client of mine. She came online and we were talking, and she said, "Richard, you need to write a book." And I said, "Why do I need to write a book?" She says, "Well, you have all these Richardisms that you've shared with me over the years, and I think they ought to be put in a book." And I said, that's a very kind thing to say. I have no intention of writing a book. I mean, it was just one of those ideas that, I thought, I can't possibly do that. And so she said, okay. And we kept talking. And then she turned around and said to me, "Well, if you won't write a book, maybe you ought to develop some cards." And I said, "Cards?" And she says, "Yeah, you ought to come up with a card deck." Some of my clients know that I like to look at card decks on my own. I know a lot about the tarot, and I know a lot about oracle cards. And this one knew about my love of those things. And she said, "You ought to come up with a card deck." And I said, "Well, again, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it, but I don't have nearly enough material to come up with a card deck." And she said, "Oh, but you do." She said, "I have written everything down that you've ever told me. And I have them in a spreadsheet." And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And I said, "I'd like to see your spreadsheet." And she said, "Okay, I'll send it over to you." Well, she sent this spreadsheet over to me. And over the time, she had collected nearly everything I'd ever told her. And of course, I was reading over some of these things, and I thought, I can't believe I told her any of this stuff. Some of it didn't sound so sane at the time. And then I thought, some of this stuff that I'm reading is really pretty good. It's not so bad. Maybe I ought to look at getting a card deck together. And it was going to be this very simple thing that I was going to put together for a few clients. I had no idea I was ever going to produce it. And then about a week later, my client, who's an amazing woman, I have to say, she wrote me and said, "I've been researching card manufacturers for you." So what the moral of this story is that if you're going to give somebody an idea, be like my client and really give them more than the idea. I mean, she gave me the material. She gave me the means to do it. And she really encouraged me all along the way, as well as many other people. And I have to tell you, I love these cards because there are all kinds of stories in these cards that we're going to share over the coming months. And so many people helped me. I got so much encouragement from all kinds of friends and family and people that I hadn't met before. And I'm hoping that you will enjoy them as much as I do. So that's it for today. But again, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you soon with an actual card. Bye-bye.